Welcome to the Ad Expert Podcast. This is the deep dive, your shortcut to getting genuinely well-informed. We take your sources, your notes, your research, and we basically distill it all down. Yeah, into those key insights, those nuggets of knowledge to help you really grasp things quickly and hopefully keep you hooked. And today, we're particularly excited. This deep dive really ties into the work Ad Expert does. They're based right here in Los Angeles, an online marketing and web development agency. They've got a solid decade of experience under their belt. And their whole mission, it's about driving conversions, enhancing that online presence, getting real, tangible results businesses need.
Exactly. That's really our focus at Ad Expert. We're committed to delivering, well, not just services, but actual results-driven solutions. We try to blend deep industry knowledge with, practical skills. We tailor strategies to help businesses really thrive in what's, let's face it, a very competitive digital world. We really see ourselves as partners in growth.
And you do this with a pretty focused reach, too, right? Across the greater LA area?
That's right.
Yeah.
Serving communities like Woodland Hills, Calabasas, Winnetka, Tarzana, Encino, Sherman Oaks, West Hills, Reseda, Burbank, Van Nuys. You're really embedded in those local markets.
We are.
So for today's deep dive, we're tackling something critical for anyone putting money into online ads. Manual CPC versus smart bidding. When to switch for better ROI. I mean, this is a decision that can genuinely make or break your campaigns, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Our mission today is, well, to give you a really clear understanding of these two distinct bidding models. We want to help you figure out exactly when each approach fits your specific business needs. And maybe most importantly, give you the confidence to make that switch when the time's right. All for, better return on investment, getting the most out of every ad dollar.
Okay, so to really master that ad spend, we probably need to start at the beginning for many campaigns, which is manual CPC. Let's unpack that. What exactly is manual CPC, and who should be using this hands-on approach? Right. So manual CPC cost per click it means you are literally in the driver's seat for your ad budget. You set the maximum amount you're willing to pay for every single click on your ad. It gives you this very granular level of control, which sounds great, right? And it can be, especially in certain situations.
Okay, so when is that kind of surgical control actually a good thing? When should a business stick with manual CPC, or maybe even start there?
Yeah, manual CPC really shines in a few specific scenarios. If you're totally new to PPC advertising pay-per-click, it's a fantastic starting point. Think of it like training wheels for your ad budget.
Okay.
It lets you see firsthand how your budget actually behaves, gives you immediate insights into click costs, maybe some initial conversion data before you jump into complex automation. And here's a really critical point. Manual CPC is pretty indispensable when you have limited conversion data. So if your campaigns are getting, say, fewer than maybe 15 to 20 conversions a month, or haven't consistently hit 20 conversions in the last 30 days, well, automation just doesn't have enough info to make smart decisions yet. It needs data to learn.
Makes sense.
So in those cases, manual control gives you predictability. It stops you from, wasting spend while the system would just be guessing. And here's something maybe a bit counterintuitive. While smart bidding is amazing for optimizing at scale, for pure creative testing, if you really want to know if this headline works better than that headline, manual CPC is actually your secret weapon there.
Really?
Yeah, because it offers that surgical precision. It ensures bid changes don't mess up your test results, which can happen easily when automation is still learning your new ads. It's also great for, say, really niche keywords where you know exactly what they're worth to you. Or if you're on a super tight budget and just need to maximize every single click you can get within very specific limits.
Okay, that makes total sense for building a foundation or for those really specific controlled tests. But you use the phrase surgical control. What happens when that level of manual control actually starts holding you back? Is manual CPC always the best way, or can it sometimes, limit your growth?
That is the critical question, isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of businesses cling to manual CPC. They think, I'm in full control. But the surprising truth is, relying on it for too long can actually throttle your growth. Seriously.
How so?
Well, you're basically trying to manually outthink and outpace a supercomputer in a real-time bidding auction. I mean, think about it. Can a person really monitor and adjust bids across thousands of variables? Device type, time of day, location, audience demographics, user intent.
No way.
For every single auction, every single second. It's literally impossible for a human. And that constant real-time optimization, that's exactly where manual CPC just can't keep up. And that naturally leads us to the next level, which is smart bidding.
Right. So as important as that initial control is, the real game changer and often, the path to much better ROI comes when campaigns have enough momentum. And crucially, enough data. That's when we graduate to smart bidding. So how does smart bidding in Google Ads fundamentally change the game compared to that hands-on approach?
Yeah, smart bidding. It's like having this incredibly smart, tireless assistant managing your bids 24/7. It uses advanced machine learning AI essentially to automatically adjust your bids in real time for every single auction.
Wow, okay.
And it's not just looking at a couple of things, it's factoring in millions of signals like
Yeah.
the user's device, location, time of day, their past behavior, predictions about how likely they are to convert, their specific audience segment, all of it. And its primary goal, it's singular and powerful, maximize your conversions or optimize for your return on ad spend, your ROAS.
So it's much less about your manual input and way more about the sophisticated AI doing the heavy lifting. But okay, beyond just being automated, why does this generally lead to better ROI? What are the core advantages that make it so powerful?
The advantages can be, well, transformative for your bottom line. First, it's those real-time adjustments we talked about. Smart bidding can literally change the bid in every single auction. It optimizes on the fly to grab the most valuable clicks at the best possible price.
Something a human just can't do.
Exactly. Manually impossible. Second, it makes truly data-driven decisions. By analyzing huge data sets, it predicts the likelihood of a conversion with, frankly, incredible accuracy. It lines up directly with your ROAS goals, maximizing your investment way better than guesswork. Third, it consistently delivers better conversions. Why? Because it's always working to find the right people at the right moment when they're most likely to actually convert for your specific goals.
Okay.
And finally, and this is huge, it saves so much time.
Right.
Imagine trying to manually update bids for hundreds, maybe thousands of keywords across different devices times a day. That's hours and hours of work.
Yeah, tedious work too.
Totally. Smart bidding eliminates that constant manual monitoring. It frees you up to focus on strategy, on creative, on your actual business. That time-saving aspect is incredibly valuable.
That all sounds really compelling. Freeing up time is definitely valuable. But, handing over control,
Yeah.
that can feel a bit daunting for people. From your experience, what's the clearest signal? The undeniable sign that tells a business, okay, it's time. Time to trust the machine and switch from manual CPC to smart bidding.
That's a fantastic question. And it's a fear, a hesitation many businesses definitely share. The signal is unequivocally tied to sufficient conversion data. That's the key.
The data again?
Always the data, because the machine learning needs that data to learn and optimize effectively. Without it, it's flying blind. So we're typically looking for a threshold. Think at least 15 to 20 conversions per campaign per month. Or, maybe more reliably, consistently hitting 20 conversions within a 30-day window. When you start seeing those conversion rates rising consistently or just a steady stream of valuable conversions coming in, that's your campaign basically shouting, hey, I've got enough traction. I've got enough data. Let smart bidding take over and push us to the next level.
Got it. So once you see that data, you're ready to make the switch. But it sounds like there isn't just one smart bidding button, right? What are the common strategies businesses should think about when they make this pivot?
You're absolutely right. It's not one size fits all. There are two main strategies people usually consider, and they're tailored to different goals. First is maximize conversions. This one's fantastic for campaigns where maybe your immediate ROI per conversion isn't the absolute top priority. Your main goal is just driving as many conversions as possible within your budget. It's all about volume.
Okay, volume driven.
Exactly. The second main one is target ROAS. ROAS stands for return on ad spend. Now, this strategy is ideal when your focus is really firmly on maximizing the actual revenue or return you get from your ad spend. You basically hit Google, I want to achieve X% ROAS, and it optimizes your bids to hit that target. It prioritizes the clicks most likely to lead to high-value conversions.
So one's for volume, one's for value, essentially.
That's a great way to put it, yeah.
Okay, bringing this all together.
Yeah.
How do businesses practically decide between these two worlds, manual and smart, for their campaigns? How do we compare them side by side to pick the right path?
It really comes down to understanding the core differences across maybe 5 key areas. First, control. Manual CPC puts you fully in charge of each bid. Smart bidding. Google's algorithm adjusts automatically. Less direct control, but potentially more effective optimization.
Right. Second, data requirement. Manual works okay even with limited data. Smart bidding absolutely needs sufficient, consistent conversion data to work well. That's non-negotiable. Third, bid adjustments. With manual, they're fixed, static, unless you change them. Smart bidding, they're dynamic, changing in real time based on all those signals we talked about.
Okay.
Fourth, goal focus. Manual CPC is often about maximizing clicks or traffic, great for awareness or early data gathering. Smart bidding is explicitly focused on maximizing conversions or ROAS, much more bottom line oriented. And finally, fifth, management effort. Manual CPC requires constant monitoring, tweaking. It's pretty labor intensive.
Great. Smart bidding provides automated optimization. It significantly cuts down your manual effort. So when you're choosing your path, you really need to weigh up. What are your campaign goals? Clicks or measurable ROI? What's your conversion volume like? Do you have enough data for automation? And what's your budget flexibility? Do you need tight control over every penny? Or are you looking for maximum results within a more flexible budget? Often, honestly, a very common and effective approach is starting with manual CPC. Build up that crucial conversion history. Then, once you've got the data, once the campaign shows some maturity, then you transition to smart bidding. It's a phased approach.
That comparison really lays it out clearly. It helps frame the decision. Now, for those businesses who are ready, they've got the data, they're making the leap to smart bidding, what are some expert tips for actually getting the most out of it, ensuring a smooth transition? Are there common mistakes or, pitfalls people fall into that might actually hurt their ROI, at least initially?
Oh, absolutely. Great question about the pitfalls, because there definitely are some. First, and I know I sound like a broken record, but ensure consistent data.
Right. Data.
Exactly. For optimal performance, you really want to aim for at least 20 conversions in a 30-day period per campaign before you even think about switching certain strategies on. Jumping into smart bidding too early with too little data, that's probably the #1 mistake. Leads to wasted spend and poor results while it struggles to learn. Second, make sure you align your smart bidding strategy with your actual business goals.
Makes sense.
If you're chasing revenue, pick target ROAS. If it's about getting as many leads as possible, maybe maximize conversions is better. Don't mismatch the tool and the job. Third, and this requires patience, allow for that learning time.
Ah, yes, the learning phase.
Automated systems aren't magic wands. They need time, usually a week or two, sometimes even 3, to gather new data, test bid adjustments, and really find their rhythm. Don't panic and start messing with it after 3 days if performance dips slightly. That's often just part of the learning process.
So resist the urge to tinker too early.
Precisely. Monitor closely, yes, but give it time. Pulling the plug too early or making drastic changes during learning is another common mistake. Fourth, always monitor and tweak after the learning phase. It's automated, but not completely set it and forget it. Check performance regularly. Be prepared to adjust your ROAS targets or budgets based on the results you're seeing in changing market conditions. And finally, a proactive tip. Exclude poor-performing keywords and irrelevant search terms before you switch, or early on.
Clean up the data going in.
Exactly. Don't make the automation waste time and money learning about terms that you already know don't convert. Focus its power on what works. Clean data in, optimize results out.
This has been incredibly valuable, a really good deep dive. Understanding when to stick with manual CPC and, maybe more importantly, knowing when to strategically make that switch to smart bidding. It just seems absolutely vital for getting better ROI from digital ads.
It really is. And remember, manual CPC isn't, dead or obsolete. Not at all. Think of it as that necessary first step, a foundation, a launching pad towards better performance. It builds that crucial history. But when you are ready, when your data is strong, making that switch to smart bidding in Google Ads lets you really leverage powerful data optimization. Let the machine do what it does best. It's about evolving your strategy as your data matures. Embracing automation for scale and efficiency. That's the provocative thought, perhaps. Manual isn't gone. It's just step 1.
A great way to frame it. And that kind of nuanced expert approach is exactly what the team at AdExpert brings to the table for their clients, right? Using advanced insights, leveraging AI, fine-tuning these bidding approaches to make sure ads don't just reach people, but reach the right people and generate the best possible return tailored to specific business goals.
Absolutely. With our, decade of experience serving clients right across the Los Angeles area, places like Woodland Hills, Calabasas, Winnetka, all those communities we listed, we really understand the local market dynamics. So hopefully listeners can take this information and think about how it applies to their own business goals. What's the next logical step for your ad strategy?
And if you're looking to optimize that ad spend, maybe get some expert help improving your ROI, you can reach the AdExpert team directly. The number is 310-686-5354. Or just visit their website. You can book a free consultation there today.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We really hope you'll keep exploring, keep learning, and keep optimizing those strategies. Until next time.